What is up, Taurus? How are you guys doing? It is time for your weekly check-in. Let's see what's happening with you guys for the first week of August. August, week 1. Remember, weekly check-ins are just a short, quick, general, energetic overview. If any of you are in need of a personal reading, you can always visit my website, which is tarotwithrich.com. I got a link for that in the description of this video. If you're new to my channel, I am now doing general personal readings. They're quick, easy, efficient. You ain't got to ask me nothing. You ain't got to tell me nothing. You just click what you want read and I'll do the rest. They're cheap too. I think that's why everybody loves them so much. But I got a lot more than that to offer as well. And you can read up on everything I have on my website. Links in the description. All right, let's see what's going on with your situation and the person you're dealing with in the first week of August. Person Taurus is dealing with. What's happening? What is happening? Uh-oh. We got a stalker. We got a stalker. Y'all ever see that movie, Requiem for a Dream? Y'all ever see that movie? We got a winner. We got a winner. We got a winner. We got a winner. That's what always comes to my mind when I see the stalker card. We got a stalker. We got a stalker. Now, I don't mean that somebody is hanging out in the tree with a pair of binoculars outside your window. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about those people who are constantly trying to keep an eye on you and try to spy on what you got going on in your life from a distance. Most of the time that's done through social media. Doesn't have to be though. Like if they know people who know you, maybe they ask a lot of questions about you. I don't know, but you get the point. So if you're wondering about communication, it's not looking like it, but it is looking like, I kind of feel like this person's obsessively stalking you. And that's what this looks like to me. Oh yeah. 7 of swords, 5 of swords. Ooh, 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 ooh. I can't, both of them though, if you look up ew in the dictionary, these two cards will come out. That's some pretty fucking disgusting energy, I'm not gonna lie. The two nastiest cards. Well, actually, you know what? The 3 nastiest cards, in my opinion, in the whole tarot. These are the 2 nastiest cards of the minor arcana, and then this is the major arcana, the devil card. It does not look like this is somebody you need in your fucking life. I don't think so. I don't know what happened between the 2 of you, but I can tell you this much. I think it was divine intervention. I think it was divine intervention. So, doesn't look like a whole lot of much of nothing's happening though. Looks like a really, really, really loud, tense silence. And I think those of you who resonate with this message, you know they be watching you too, don't you? You know. And let me add my 2 cents. If you can figure out how to do it properly, you can use that energy as motivation and fuel that'll really get you places. If you can figure out how to use it properly, you got to be a pretty decent energy worker to do that. But you can use that when you know somebody's watching you, hoping to see you fail. To me, nothing motivates me to succeed more than that. I love it. I love knowing that somebody's watching me, hating me, mad at me, hoping that they see me fail. Dude, nothing motivates me more than that. Nothing. If I find that out, I'm gonna work 10 times harder just to piss you off. So, just saying, if you can figure out how to work with that energy, this could take you places, but it doesn't really look like much is happening here though. It really don't. Some of you dealing with a Cancer also have Scorpio, Capricorn. Okay, could be anybody. Those are just energies. All right, let's see their truest, deepest feelings, energies, and intentions towards you. Oh, the Empress. Well, first of all, the Empress always comes out when I read Taurus. Always. That's a Taurus card. But I do think they kind of hold you to high regard. I think they do think very highly of you. I just don't think they want you to know that. I don't think they want you to know that. That they do consider themselves very beneath you. And maybe that pisses them off. I'm not saying that they are beneath you, but that's the way they see it. They feel karmically tied to you. This came out in the last spread too, but I didn't say nothing. It was the last card in the last spread. They're hoping, they're trying to find somebody to replace you. And not really having a whole lot of success with that. Five of Swords again. Yeah. It's hard to say. This is one of those things that I don't think they have like solid intentions. I think you just take up a lot of space in their head. They wish they could just walk away from this and turn it off. If they could flip a magic switch and just turn it all off and walk away, I think they would. I just think you take up too much space in their head. It's not like they're trying to get back with you and be with you. No, it's not. I wouldn't say that much. It's a karmic tie. It's just what happens when there's a karmic tie and somebody owns space in your mind, you know? All right, well, let's get some advice here. Since it doesn't look like there's going to be much of an outcome here. There ain't no action there. What's the advice for Taurus? What's the advice? Strength card. Hold back. Hold back. Hold back. And again, go back to what I was saying earlier. Transmute this energy. Transmute it. If you know that somebody's watching you, give them something to watch. I've never been able to really wrap my mind around people who like make their social media private. Why? Let them watch. Let them watch. Give them something to watch. Let that motivate you. Let that motivate you to do better and piss them off. I won't lie to you. That was a huge part of what helped me along the manifestation path. A huge part. It's not all of it, but that was one of the top 3 key ingredients of keeping me on the manifestation path. Because I knew haters were watching me that didn't like me and wanted to see me fail. I knew that they would gather around and, you know, point and laugh. Oh, look at him. He's an idiot. He's a loser. Oh. That motivated the shit out of me. Before you knew it, they were feeling stupid as fuck. Before you knew it. Give them something to watch. That's what I say. Give them something to watch. Give them something to fucking keep them awake at night, you know, and eat them alive. But yeah, I would say if you catch them trying to get some kind of reaction out of you, you know, don't let them trigger you. Don't let them trigger you. You know what? Okay. First of all, nothing pisses off a toxic person more than being ignored. I was telling Aries something similar to this a minute ago, but don't waste your energy on calling them names, because when we're grown adults, you know how pathetic it looks when grown adults start hurling insults at each other. I see that every day on social media, and I'm like, I feel secondhand embarrassment. You look so pathetic. When you start hurling insults at somebody like that, you can really tell that you're triggered. It's like, they got up under your skin. Well, to me, if I see you hurling insults at somebody like that, and I get it, we're all human. I get it. Sometimes it's hard to hold back. I get it. None of us are 100% perfect. But when you do that, it looks like they won. They won. Don't give them that. Ignore it. Ignore it. Shh. Quiet. You know what the best revenge is? Success. The best revenge is success. Healing, evolving, and success. Okay? That's what I would say to this right here. Okay, that was an interesting message. Let's see what's going on with the singles and your love interest. Single Aries and your love interest. Or not Aries, Taurus, I'm sorry. Single Taurus and your love interest. Do, 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 do. World card, devil. Ah, shit. Tower. Is this crashing and burning coming to an end? What's going on here, man? What's going on? It's not really telling me. That devil card, though. Are you finding something out about this person? I'm trying not to get too specific, but like, for example, maybe some of you could be finding out that they have some sort of addiction issue, maybe. You know, like, for example, interested in somebody at the workplace. And I don't know if you've ever seen this before, where you meet somebody at work. Doesn't have to be a romantic interest, but you really, really, really think you're seriously getting to know this person. You really feel like you're getting close to them. And then all of a sudden you end up finding out that they live a totally different life and they are a totally different person that you, and it's mind-boggling. It's like, whoa, you know? Something along those lines. I don't know. It's not really telling me. I can only speculate here. All I can really do is speculate, but it does kind of look like this is... All right, well, let's see how they feel about you. Let's see how they feel about you. Two of Pentacles. Two more. Ten of Swords reversed. Empress. So I think they do find you attractive. There is an attraction here, but there's a fear of commitment. There's an attraction. There's just a fear of commitment. And yeah, they got their guard up a little bit. So how else do you word that, you know? How do you word that? When you're attracted to somebody, but then when you start thinking about what it would be like to commit, and then you start getting scared of, oh my God, what if things start going south? You turn into a different person, you know, and I think they're just replaying the scenario in their mind of what it would be like to just really start falling in love with somebody, and then all of a sudden things start taking a drastic turn, and putting yourself through that. Sometimes when people finally break away from something like that, they don't really want to get anywhere near a situation that can make them go through that again. You know what I mean? So, okay. Well, let's get the advice. What's the advice? Knight of Wands reversed. King of Cups reversed. Lover's card. We got that Six of Swords there as advice. Page of Swords reversed. This is where advice for your love interest always gets slippery. See, if you come to me for a general personal reading, there's a little drop-down box, depending on what you choose to get read, where there will be a couple of options that you can choose from. Like the person, if you get the past person, for example, it'll ask you how long the two of you were together and how long you've been broken up, right? If you get the current person, how long have you been together? You know, stuff like that. Little things like that matter when it comes to advice. The reason why I ask that kind of thing, those little time frames, is because knowing that plays a major role in what advice I give you. So with a situation like this, how long have you been interested in them? And like, how long has this situation been dragging on? If this is just somebody you've been interested in for the last week or so, you maybe give it a little more time to see if it's going to go anywhere. If this is somebody you've been like talking to, like maybe gone on a few dates and whatnot, especially if y'all done been fucking, then you don't want to let that string on too long. I was just telling Aries, I personally believe the talking phase, I personally don't think it should last longer than a month. If you want to give it a generosity month, make it 2 months. To me, that's pushing it. I think a second month is very excessive. A month is more than enough time for you to decide whether or not you want to give somebody a chance. More than enough time. That's not ridiculous. That's not outlandish. 30 days of us consistently talking, you know, hanging out whenever we have free time. Like, let's say worst case scenario, you have a really busy schedule and you can only see each other maybe once a week, once every other week. Okay, then that's when you, I guess, would add that second month in there. Okay, all right. But generally speaking, if we talking and we're like FaceTiming every day, we're talking every day, we're hanging out multiple times a week, going on 2-3 dates a week, 30 days is plenty of fucking time to decide whether or not I'm going to give you a chance, right? So if you're going into the second month and we're still just kind of hanging in the air, like, then it's getting down to crunch time. I'm going to tell you, and you know what? I'm going to tell you the same thing I've told Aries. Whatever you allow is what will persist. I'm telling you, when you start noticing a pattern or a cycle, if you don't put a stop to it, nothing is going to put a stop to it. When you start noticing a cycle or a pattern, if you just hang back and wait for it to stop itself, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Once a cycle and a pattern begins, it's going to keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going. And if you allow it, and if you give the impression that you're okay with that, it's going to keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going. That's just the way it works. So don't let somebody string you along for too long, okay? All right, well, I feel like those were the messages that my Taurus family needed to hear. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Thanks again for tuning in and playing along. Don't forget, information for personal readings is all down here in the description, okay? I'm out of here now, y'all. I will see you sometime between now and the rest of all eternity.